Okay, so if you, I've already done most of my eyeshadow. I've not put on mascara, but I've done most of my eyeshadow. Um, and then now I'm going to finish my face and eyebrows and kind of give you a completed look. So just to fill you in on what I've done so far, I have primed and moisturized and primed my face. Um, some people will tell you priming is an absolute must. I'm not going to tell you that. For me, I don't touch my face a lot, and so makeup pretty much adheres to my skin well, and I feel like Limelight does even without the base. But if you're going to get a really smooth application, it does help. Um, and there's a lot of primers out on the market. That's truly up to you as to how you feel about primers. Because again, all of Limelight's products are by Alcone, and Alcone is been around for 60 years or more, and it's totally professional makeup that they use for movie sets and models and advertising agencies and all those kind of things, commercials. And so being a commercial product for professionals, primers would be very important, especially if you're under really harsh lights. For your everyday use, sometimes I would not use the primer, mostly because I forget. If most of you, if you're in your 30s, and you've been using department store makeup, priming has not always been an essential part of makeup application. I remember using primers in the past and not really liking them because I felt like they kind of clog my pores. I don't feel like this primer does. So I've primed my face, and now I'm going to be applying my concealer and foundation. Some people put concealer on beforehand. Some people put it on after. I used to be a before, and I never saw the point of concealer. And now I put it on after, and I see more of a point. But that is up to you, and I'm not going to tell you how to do your business. I will tell you this. When we first got into Limelight, I struggled with the foundation. Not because I didn't like how it felt, because I loved how it felt. I just wasn't sure about the application process. And so what I found that works best for me, I'm a liquid foundation girl. I've been using liquid foundation since God was a little boy. And it is my absolute fave. I've used the mineral makeup. I've used like an oil-based, like it's more similar to this, but it was a lot heavier. It was a Bobbi Brown makeup, and it broke my face out terribly bad. I have really volatile skin in that way. So I've used all types of makeup, but I really loved using a foundation brush. If you want to use a foundation brush, you can. Just, it needs to be damp. It just makes a difference. For me, it did, and that's what made me really be like, oh, this is the best stuff. What I'm going to be using today instead of foundation brush is just a slightly damp beauty blender. This is not a Limelight beauty blender. This is just one that is, sorry for the interruption. But anyway, this is just a slightly damp beauty blender. It's nothing overly fancy. If you've ever put makeup on with a sponge, this may be what you immediately go to. It was not for me, but I have learned to love it. And what I do is I take my, not concealer, I don't know why I can't keep things straight today, foundation, and I just kind of twist it lightly, about a half turn. Very little product has to go on because, again, this is just as pigmented as all the other products with Limelight. And I just kind of, and you can see the thing, and I'm going to be glancing at the camera, but I'll also be glancing at my big mirror. And you can sort of tell I'm going into my eyebrows, which is why I've not already done my eyebrows. I've got a little bit of eyeshadow on because I'm going for a look that is going, I'm going to Bible school kickoff. I don't want to look like a, no, I don't want to look overly made up. It's a Wednesday, and you know, I'm not in college. I'm going clubbing. Some of you might be. I hope somebody's having, you know, a wild time. So I'm just putting this on my face, and I'm quickly doing this because this shouldn't have to take forever, and this shouldn't have to be like your whole life. I think a lot of people think that makeup takes a long time, and it really doesn't. It's hard to talk when you're putting this stuff on. And again, I'm just hitting the spots that for me that are always my more troubled areas. So you'll see me putting more attention on like this area where I'm rubbing this big orange sponge. Because this is where I get a little red. My nose itches a lot, and I have like untreated seasonal allergies because I won't take that medicine. Um, and for whatever reason, I've got a little bit of it just always seems like congested through there. I don't know. I think it's the way my mouth is shaped. Who knows? We'll blame it on genetics. Um, and I'm not a big proponent of like you need to make up your whole. I'm sure in Hollywood they're doing this mess, but I do try to bring it down a little bit. Um, because when you do any kind of contouring to give the semblance of that you only have one chin, you want to have like an area to work on. And this is sort of, again, if you watch my eyeshadow tutorial, which is sort of the reverse of this, makeup application, again, is like painting. And if you're trying to paint a picture, like a Bob Ross, I want to be the Bob Ross of the makeup world. I just want to get a perm. Been there, done that, not doing it again. But you want to have some kind of base down to kind of blend into, and that's why you want to be kind of mindful of what you're doing, how you're doing it. So within 5 minutes, I have now put in my foundation. I could, at this point, shut my little palette, put up my blender for washing, and be done. And this is I would just have to put powder or set it in some way, and I would be done, and that's it. I feel like, but anyway, I feel like I just got this halo around me, and maybe it's just me. But anyway, this is just a real simple kind of look. And now if you want to do more, and I want to just fix this. I feel like this makeup really just kind of floats on your skin. If you want to go back in and add concealers to kind of hit the dark spots, there's a multitude of ways of doing this. And what I'm going to do is just take the pointy end of this Beauty Blender and just go back into this white. I'm not putting a ton of product on there. And I'm just going to kind of shove it up under. I'm not going to try to undo my eye makeup, which I kind of went a little high on this because I'm used to doing this in another order. But I am going to make a little triangle, and I'm just bringing it over the top with this. It's going to brighten up your eye. And I can just go back in and fix what I mess up, because again, there's really no mistakes in makeup. The other thing I like to do is just kind of put some up here and then go down the bridge of my nose and kind of focus on that. I hate the shape of my nose badly. Like, I don't like the shape of my nose, but as I've gotten older, I've learned some tricks to kind of not hate it as much. And so I'm just kind of, if foundation was the what I would call the magic white, and that's probably not the best term for it, but it's the painting term. And I am not an artist, but if that's the stuff you're using to kind of like wash over your face, your concealer is now, like, if the foundation was taking away the shadow, your concealers can be adding highlight and the shadow. I'm not going to use the term contour right this second, but that's exactly what we're talking about, is the contour. And so with this damp Beauty Blender, I'm just kind of bringing in the places I want to highlight. And I love to get this part of my face. And I even bring it down through my lip because I don't really like a really poppy kind of lip. And I just bring it down. So basically my T-zone, I've just added some light to. To get the shadow, you can do a darker concealer, which I'm not going to do today because I don't, like I said, I'm just going to church. I don't want to look like a Kardashian. But you would just go back in with your Beauty Blender and hit the dark spots and go back in with your tint. I can achieve that with a powder, and so I'm going to do that today really quickly. Powder brush. I'm going to use a dark powder that I just have on hand. I'm going to go down the sides of my nose because this is a trick to kind of make my nose seem smaller. So I'm doing the very underside. I'm doing this side, and I'm lighting off of this every day. Sorry. And then I'm going to go in where I think, just right under my cheekbone, where I'd want to create a shadow. And I'm not doing this in the order that a lot of people do it in. I'm just doing it in what works for me. And it's what's quick. And same way, we're just going to follow just that natural slope of my bone structure. Yours might be different than mine. And I'm going to work that color in until I feel like it looks natural. My nose itches all the time. It looks natural and pretty. For me, I'm going to just do the very bottom of my face again. So it looks like I have one chin. And then I'm doing my hairline. I have bangs, like pretty significant bangs. I'm trying to grow them out. And I'll get to about right here with them, and they're like, just cut them, it's fine, I want bangs back. So since, oh gosh, college, I've battled with the bangs. Battle of the bangs continues. 34 years old, gonna be 35 in a few months, very soon. And that is still not done with hair. Hair's still a mess. Actually, my hair's a lot better than it's ever been because I've been using a new product, and I'll talk about that later. But today, we're talking about an easy peasy contoured look without having to go crazy or buy a contour kit. So I just used a dark powder that I had on hand. You could use eyeshadow. If you have an eyeshadow that you love, especially the Limelight eyeshadows, you could easily contour with those, and a lot of people do, and I probably will too when I get more choices. But now we have brought in that. I'm going to quickly add in just a little blush using this same brush. And I'm just getting the apples, this large part of my cheek. And again, I do not like a lot of bright color. I'm a very neutral person. That is just not me. Just add some back up here. And so there you go with that. The last thing I'm going to do is just sort of do, if you're a mineral foundation user, my sister is it's like brown crack all over her counter because she is a loose powder mineral person, and tried that. I really tried hard to like it. It just didn't like my skin type. It just broke my face out. I'm just going to go in with this white Limelight pressed powder. It takes onto a brush beautifully, and I'm just going to go over pretty much everything. I know you're only supposed to hit the parts that you didn't powder already, but I'm even going back over because it's white. I mean, it's translucent. It's not going to take away any. It's just going to set. It's just going to set what we just did, and so voila, easy peasy. And I'm not going to do my eyebrows right now because that's just going to be the next to last thing, and then I'll do my eyeshadow, or not my eyeshadow. My eyeshadow's done. I may have to go back in and fix the bottom, and I may end up doing my waterline, which I can show you how to do that later. But this is pretty much a finished look for, I mean, I feel like I look pretty natural. I don't feel like I look any overly made up. I don't look like I went to the prom or to a cocktail party, but I definitely have a look that in total didn't take all that much time, really wasn't complicated. And if you know what you're doing as far as the way you're going to apply it, it's super simple, super easy, and anybody can do it. So you should do it. If you have questions though, comment them or hit me up on Facebook, give me a call if you've got my number. I'll be glad to talk you through some of this stuff because it's simple and there's really no mistakes. You can't mess it up. So don't be afraid of that. But this was just, kind of an intro into basic, easy contouring on the go. So thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, like I said, just let me know. Thanks.